Hi chums, we're on the Cara again. Excuse me, I'm going to cough here. Excuse me. Right, I'm going to try something tonight that's very difficult with these. I'm going to try and make mashed potato with them. And the reason it's very difficult is because the Cara row was just because it was one particular row that was all Cara, and I'd only one sticker, one of these stickers left, so I put that in the end one to show it was a row of Cara. But what was I going to say to you? I'm going to try and make mash with these tonight. Unfortunately, I got it right a couple of weeks ago, and my wife thought it was the nicest mashed potato she'd ever tasted. So she said, "Will you do the mashed carrots tonight again?" And I was going, well, okay, you know. But I realised it's really difficult because it takes. I'm trying to get me hands here, my hands here. It's really difficult because these potatoes are very floury. They're not a mashing potato, but if you cook them until they're just about, a fork can just about go in, but they're still hard in the middle, and then turn the gas off and leave them sitting for about 10 minutes, the heat will run in through the rest of the potato more gently and leave you with a potato that you can actually boil or mash. But if you kept the heat on, they would just turn into soup. So it's a bit of a touch and go sort of thing, you know, but it does make lovely mash. A very light mash. Unlike the Maris Pipers we had the last time, they're a more robust potato, so they make a more dense mash, you know. But this is very light mash. So we'll see what we're having this. So we're still at the Tomb Raider, not Tom Ritter, as it sounded before. This is my problem. I forget that we talk quite fast over here, and with talking fast and my horrible accent, it means that words can sometimes sound very different from what they are. So Tomb Raider, and myself and Dermot, my son, we've got it clocked now, and we're going back through the game. We've got a thing called fast travel where you can jump from site to site, or adventure to adventure, and clear up all the stuff you missed. And it's really difficult, some of it, and they're sneaky too. When you come back onto the harder levels that you were near the end of the game, there's still enemies there to kill, and you don't expect that, and they're getting a bit sneakier because they know you're good now, so they get a bit sneakier too, you know. But it's good fun, like, you know. But so we're going back through looking for the stuff and really enjoying it, you know, which is a bit unusual for my son in the sense of the way his gameplay is, because he's the type of guy that just rushes through the thing like mad. Do you know what's wrong with me? I've turned this wheelbarrow the wrong way around. I'm normally working from the other side with the slope on my right. So I wonder what was wrong when I went to sort of start clearing spuds out there. But so he's having to hunt and search for stuff, which is different for him. But we are really enjoying it. It's good fun. So he goes back to England on Sunday. So it's all winding down now. So we're making the most of him being home, you know, and getting him to do a lot of heavy jobs that I can't really do anymore, you know. So he's done some real good work for me in the sense of preparing land or preparing ground for me to come in afterwards to do stuff. And the problem was that I really can't do the heavy work anymore like that, you know. And he did it in half the time, less than half the time it would take me, you know. So as I say, we've got all the work done, so you'll be seeing a few changes up in the air of the house, you know. My wife has still to get her Christmas present, but more of that later, you know. So as I say, we're just basically getting on with stuff now, you know. So it's very windy here, and I'm sure if you've seen the weather, England is getting absolutely hammered. So I hope my friends over there are okay, because everywhere you look there's flood warnings and all the rest of it, especially people along the coast. See, there's a spring tide last night, so, and they were expecting a big tidal surge because of the wind. So it has meant that people are having to put sandbags out in front of their house and stuff for all the good those are, like, you know. But I suppose if you get survival into your head, in a way it helps to have something there, you know, and a wee bit more confident. But so I hope all those guys, all my friends over there and everybody else is okay, because flooding is one of the almost awful things, you know. I've had it here in the house last year with the kitchen and bathroom flooded, and that was with clean water, nice fresh drinking water. You want to see the mess that made. So I don't know what it'd be like if we were trying to deal with sewage and stuff as well, you know. That must be just awful. Now you see, this potatoes, this isn't as good because this row of potatoes were over near the hedge where they didn't get a whole lot of light, so they haven't done very well. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do another reveal. So you're going to have to stay with me. Bear with me for a bit or two. I'll get this emptied out, and I'll just keep talking to you because I can't really turn the camera around. Oh, it's quicker just to do this and then come back to it again. I'm back now, I'm back now. Don't panic, don't panic. Right, my wheelbarrow back in position again. So, I have another one of those bags, we'll try and see what they got. Right, here we are, another one. Oh, these aren't too heavy now because they're getting lighter from sitting in the greenhouse. So, it's a bit easier to deal with. So we'll get these ones here. I need a fair few potatoes for these because I'm going to lose about 25% in the water, in the boiling water, because the outside part will fall apart and just turn the water into milk. So I'm going to lose a fair percentage. So I have to do a lot more than I need just to get that, you know. So here we go again. I wasn't expecting to do two of these, but these have to be done with. Now, I'll just empty these potatoes out, keep them separate. So as I say, things are going, oh look, this one looks a bit better now. This one here was from a different part of the garden, and only a few feet away from that last bag. You can see the difference that extra sunshine makes. So, basically myself and Dermot are doing working during the day and then playing Tomb Raider in the evenings, and it's really good fun. I'm enjoying it. I put money on a horse today. Right, I bet on a horse. Now this is not me, you know. I don't normally do horses, but there's a particular lunatic here on YouTube told me about a horse, and I said, right, I'll have to get some money on this, and I went and put money on it today. But it was kind of embarrassing because I don't do horses, as I said. So I walked into the bookies and I went up to the counter and I said to the girl, I need some help please. And she went, yeah, what's wrong? And I said, I want to put money on a horse, but I don't know how to fill in a docket. And she looked at me like I was completely retarded. And she said, well, tell you what, go over there to the wall and get me one of those white slips. So I went and got this little bit of paper with carbon paper underneath, and it means you get a double copy then, you know. Can you see what I'm doing here? You can. So she said, what is it? And so I told her when the race was and what the horse was. And she said, right. And she said, much do you want to bet on it? And I said, £10, please. So she says, okay, so £5 each way. So it means if it comes second or third, I'll still get some of the money back. And if it wins, I'll get an extra quarter or an extra third or something for backing it each way. But, you know, I don't really mind if it doesn't win because I'll get a lot more fun out of bragging about telling this guy how his horse is a donkey, you know. So for me it's not such a big deal, but in a way I do really hope it does win because there's a lot of dough invested in a racehorse. So for the sake of the people who are actually involved in the thing, I do hope it wins, you know. It doesn't really matter for me, but it is really important to them, you know. So from that point of view, I hope it does win, you know. But at least I'm not going to lose my house if it doesn't. But it was very nice of this guy to even tell me about it because a lot of people keep that sort of stuff to themselves and wouldn't tell anybody, you know. So hopefully now it'll be good. I'll tell you a story, right? I used to do part-time taxi driver when I was younger and foolish. And it was a sort of a dangerous sort of thing in this place when things weren't so good. But it was good fun too, you know. I liked it. But there were a couple of boys who were serious gamblers, you know. So this guy gave me a tip for a horse. And I said, right, one of my customers, and I said, right, and I never bothered betting on it because I thought, well, I'm going to lose anyway. And I don't want to tell anybody about it in case they lose their money. So what happened was, when I, later on that night after the race was over and all, I happened to say to one of these guys who bet a lot, what happened to a horse called, I don't know, Jimmy Cricket, right? And he went, oh, it won today at 4-1. I went, all right, I got a bet for that. I got a tip for that. And he went, what? And I said, I got a tip for that in one of my customers. And he went, why did you not tell us? And I said, well, I didn't want to tell you and then you lose their money. And they said, no, but you find out who he is and tell us again. And I said, okay. So about 6 months later, I had the same guy in the car, and he says, well, you did all right in that last horse. And I said, I did, I didn't tell him I hadn't put any money on, you see. He said, well, here's another one for you. And he gave me a name of another horse, and I'll say it's called, Big Horse, right? So I didn't bother putting any money on it. And that night, I went up into the depot, and I said to the two boys, how did a horse called Big Horse do today? Said it won at 3-1. I said, all right, that boy gave me another tip, and that was the horse. You know, why did you not tell us? Why did you not tell us? And I said, because I just didn't want maybe to put you in a position where you're going to put all your money on it and then lose. It was my fault. No, look, see, the next time he tells you about that, you tell us. So I hatched a wee game then. I thought, right. So what I did was, during the week, when I wasn't working, I would keep an eye on the horses. Just one day, I'd go through the results and look for a horse that didn't win at really huge odds, but maybe 5-2 or 2-1 or something like that. And I would go in at the weekend and say, how did a horse called Brendan's Garden do? And they go, it won at 5-2. And I went, all right, your man told me about that one too. So these two guys were going mad about this. And I came in, so this went on for like months, about every 2 months I would do this. I wouldn't do it a lot. And then a couple months later I'd say, how did a horse called Jalapeno Pepper do? And I'd go, don't tell me your man told you about it. And I said, I did. That thing won at 6-1. I went, all right, dead on. And they were going, who is this guy? And I went, I don't know his name. And where did you pick him up? Well, he just waved me down in the street, so they couldn't find out. And I went in one night, you know what I found them doing? They were going through my books from months and months before to check who I was lifting on a Friday and Saturday night, who might possibly be involved in horses and who would have insider information. And I kept that thing going for about 1.5 or 2 years, where I told them every couple of months, or asked them, how did this horse do? And they would say it won. Why? That's not your friend again. I told me about that one too. And I was making the whole thing up for them by just looking up the results from earlier on in the week, you know. So I'll probably burn in hell for the things I've done, you know, but it was funny at the time. Right, where do I see now? Get back to the spuds again. Now, where are we at now? So I think we're nearly finished this lot here. As I say, it's very windy here. If there's a map called, I tell you what, I'll put a link down below. I'll put a link down below here to a site that Mike Cat sent me. It's a brilliant site. And it's about a world weather map and a world wind map, and you can click anywhere in the world. Just use your mouse to rotate the world, and click anywhere, and it will tell you the wind speeds in that particular place and its coordinates. And if you go on, remember I said to you a whole lot of times, Ireland is a very windy country. Well, I've been using that for about 3 weeks now, and every day I go on. And only once has the wind been stronger than in Ireland, and that was at South America, at the Cape Horn, is it? Where's the Cape of Good Hope? Is that South Africa? Cape Horn, I think it is, in South America. And along there, which was famous at the time of the voyage of discovery with Ferdinand Magellan and Columbus and all that crowd, you know, and Vasco da Gama. I loved all that stuff about those guys. But South America was the big one to get around, but I say I'll put a link for this wind map, and you'll see that the North Atlantic is really windy place all the time, and the other equivalent is above Japan, which is a similar sort of thing going on there, in the North Pacific. But in terms of continually strong winds, Ireland seems to be the place. The west coast of Ireland seems to be the windiest place in the world, from what I've seen so far. So. That's why the air quality here is so good. We have really good air quality, and this visitors coming here will actually comment on the quality of the air in Ireland, and they all sleep really well because of the sea air and stuff, you know. I notice whenever I go on holidays to the seaside or something, I sleep really well because of the sea air. But look at that now. Look at the difference in that. There's one lot. There's the other lot. Big difference, isn't there? When you put them out like that, you can see it even better. So you can see, keep your spuds in the sunshine, folks. Right, another thing just while I'm at it, on potatoes, I'm going to do a how to plant potatoes video, or how I plant potatoes video in March time when I start doing these again. A lot of people have been asking me about these potatoes and how I go about growing them and stuff. And you know what I'll do, I'll just turn this up. Instead of talking to the soil, I'll talk to you people instead, you know. But a lot of people have asked me, how do you actually grow this stuff? How do you set your bags up? What do you do? And excuse me, I'm going to do a video now on how I do that, because it'll maybe save a lot of people the bother of going. I've got 2 videos back in history there, how I plant potatoes in a bag and planting potatoes in a bag, I think they're called, from about 3 years ago. So you could go back and look at those. But I never look at my own videos, but I did look at these 2 last night because it sent the links to a few people. And I've noticed that I've said some things in one and other things in the other, and so I'll try and combine the 2 now, you know. So I'll do a video on that. Essentially, folks, all you need is a reasonable compost. Don't go out and buy the most expensive stuff. Some sort of fertiliser. I was using organic potato fertiliser, which is good. John from Wicklow got me that. John from Wicklow, how are you? And it's been a bit of a while, so hopefully we'll get together this year sometime. Organic potato fertiliser is good. General Growmore, just a general fertiliser, 777, is good as well. So, but they do need something to complement the stuff in the compost, you know. So the one thing I've found to do better is try and set them on earth or bury them halfway into the earth, so that the roots can get out of the bags and hunt for more stuff, you know. That seems to be a bit of a help, you know. It's not a huge difference, but it does make a difference. And plenty of water. And the time you need the water most, especially in Ireland, believe it or not, is when it's raining. Or sorry, not when it's raining, when the canopy forms over the leaves and it's raining. What will happen is the leaves will shed the water off the bag onto the ground. Now it doesn't matter in a field, because in a field the water is shedding off the leaves onto other potatoes, but it's not shedding off the potatoes altogether. It's still going into the ground, but the ground for your potatoes will be in a bag, so you want to keep that very wet. And I'm saying very wet, I'm not joking here. I tend to give them 3 times as much water as I think they'll need. And I just put the hose in and walk away every couple of days, you know. So you can't give them too much water, that's the bottom line basically. So long as they've got drainage, you don't want them standing in water, but the water will percolate down and they'll take up what they need, but you still need to keep giving them more, you know. So there you are, folks, that's where we are today. I'll go up and get my mash made, and I don't think I'll be eating potatoes for a while, but I promised I would open another thing at the weekend, so I'm just going to turn my camera around here and show you something else. I need to just turn that and do that. Look at that there. That's the suitcase, and in that suitcase is Cara Charlotte potatoes from 2 years ago. And I didn't harvest them, and this year I decided I'll just leave them and see what happens. So they grew. So those are the potatoes from the potatoes, and we'll open those the weekend and see how they are. Okay, so anybody waiting for that, this was my you can grow potatoes in anything crusade, and I did the suitcase once, and then where's the suitcase? Well, you haven't done the suitcase. So it became a bit of a YouTube star, the suitcase. So that's the suitcase, and it's getting very dilapidated. It's getting held together with cable ties and stuff now. So there you are, folks, that's it. All the best now. I'll be seeing you again the weekend. And if I can get up to the house without getting blown away, I'll be happy enough. Okay then, bye-bye. Thanks for watching.